Alright, so in this video what I wanted to do is just get an update on how Faro Stream has evolved over the past few months. It's introduced a couple of new features, not that many, but important features that I wanted to address. So let's jump into it. I have a premium scanner behind me over here. I'm connected to it via Wi-Fi directly. You can see the connection at the top over here. If you have other devices, they'll be listed below. Once you disconnect from the scanner, you can actually touch it and it'll become part of the list below, of course, right? But ultimately, I am scanning with the scanner, so I'm connected to it. Let me hit back. I'm going to create a new project. We'll give it a name of some kind. We'll say training. And today is May the 12th. Okay, I'm going to take a photo just like I usually do of my project. There we go. I like to input my location. All right, so the project has been created. In the past, I recommended checking the name of the actual scans. In the new app, it defaults to the correct name, so it'll inherit the name of the actual scans, so the project. So you can see the scans are training 512 scan. That's what I usually recommend, unless you have a reason to change that. There's no need to even check it. So I am going to be scanning in flash mode because I want to, not take too much time explaining what's new. But ultimately, I'm just going to hit the start button over here. I would get out of the way if I didn't record the video, but I am recording the video, so I'm going to stay here. The major changes that have happened have something to do with registration. Registration in the past wasn't using Inclinamber much. It was also a top view registration. Now it's a cloud to cloud, and it's also represented by those lines, which are the actual scan connection lines. See, this is my body over here causing the hole in the actual scan here. But needless to say, scan number 1 is finished, and we will see what the benefits of having scan connection lines is by just having a scan in the back here. I'm going to hit play. Some settings that you may want to change or check are under here. So if you go, you can show all the names by full names or just the last 3 digits. It's not shown right now in the screen live because the scan's being taken, but you'll see that you can either view the scan names in full or just the last 3 digits, just like you can see now. So now you can see it's actually updating. I like the last 3 digits. I also, it defaults to visualizing only the last 50 scans. So if you have a large project, you can limit the amount of resources that it's going to be sapping from your device that you're running stream on, right? So you don't want to do all scans unless you only have a few of them. But I've done over a couple of 100 scans and it's still good even on my iPad, and I've done it on my phone too. So it doesn't seem to be very resource intensive, but again, there's a reason why it's there. Show all scans. Again, the connection lines are the new thing that have been around for a little while, but their context has changed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a mistake. The mistake is I'm going to pick up the scanner, not do a linking scan in the doorway like I recommend for everybody to do, and I'm going to go into my adjacent room here, do a scan. There we go. I'm going to hit play. It's now recording, obviously, in anticipation of it not working. I know it's not going to work. I'm hoping it's not going to work. But it usually doesn't work when you don't do a linking scan. But this should show you what you would be up against if you were doing it for the first time. If you were doing it and you can see that the registration is completely bogus. It definitely doesn't belong to where it seems to go. So this is where you have a couple of things that you can do. Needless to say, paying attention is useful. If you're not paying attention, you will not catch that this just happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to take the scan and I'm going to unlock it from its position where it's been placed, and we'll just leave it here. For now, that means I have just broken the registration that was automatically calculated, and I said, nah, this is definitely wrong. So what I need to do now is your mindset should be like, why did it fail? Oh, we forgot to do an extra scan. So let's do the extra scan now. I am in the doorway here now. So let's leave the scanner in the doorway. I'm just going to hit play. Stream is relatively sequential. So it'll instead of connecting it typically to the previous number of scans, it'll usually try first to link it to the previous scan that in our case failed. So we should see it actually show up adjacent to the previous scan. Let's see, there we go, I was right. So it connected the first 2 scans and then the second 2 scans, yet I want a connection between all of them, right? So how you fix this, and this is where now the differences become clear. I can go grab scan number, 4 in my case, unlock it from its location where it's been calculated, and actually place it where it needs to go. I don't have to be perfect. Look, I can introduce a slight error here. This error is within your tolerance of what you have set in your settings. So in my case, I have a 6 foot distance placement error tolerance, and I have a 20-degree rotational error tolerance. You can change these, but again, I have it set to a certain mode just because I guess that's how I have it. I usually am better than 6 feet placing my scan. So I'm going to go click that set scan that I now want to realign with the first 2 scans. And instead of hitting the padlock button, I'm now going to hit the little cloud icon. And if you read the instructions or a hint at the bottom, it says select the second scan to add connection. So I'm going to scan number 2. And the software can now figure out saying, oh, I understand, you want to link with that. It's represented by the link that we already have there. I can do now the same thing with scan number 3 that failed initially, right? So I'm going to, let's give it a try. Let's see if I can just get a connection between these 2 scans and see if it jumps. It shouldn't, because it's not within those 6.6 feet that I have selected in my settings. So let's just do this. Let's go here. And now I should be within 6 feet. I should be able to click the cloud icon again, click the one scan that linked the other two, to the other 2 already, and we now have a result that seems to be reliable. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be nitpicking like perfect corners and making sure that everything's aligned. You can actually see that there's a misalignment here between the individual scans. And to find which ones it is, it's easy to kind of like, unlock it, because when you unlock a scan, it shows you how far off it might be. You can do this if you want. You can kind of tweak it in if you want and see if this gets a better fit here. It did, but now at that point, you have to redo the previous ones again. And you'll see it'll jump. This was something that I did in the field, which is nice, but you don't have to do this. This part, the small error adjustment, can be done much more efficiently in the actual software. But again, we only have 4 scans, so this didn't really take too much time. But what's also cool is I can actually go to scan number, in my case 4 over here, and establish a connection, because I decide to, with scan number 1. And that's going to be, if it's logical, if there's enough math behind it, it will connect the 2 scans with one another. And rather than just having pairwise connections, now I have a network of connections, because now I have a loop between scan number 1, 2, and 4, and going back to 1 again, right? So this is not necessary, but it's a nice addition to the actual software, which can kind of maybe validate your placement of your scans even beyond just a single connection between scans. It's still the same case. You can still just look at the scans from the side, maybe from the front, but the most useful view is from the top. And that's essentially it. There's a few more things that we can go through, but that's part for a secondary video or something to follow up. All right, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below.